Louis Scooter Libby will not be going to prison after all, and there is strong reaction this morning to President Bush's decision to commute Libby's 30-month sentence in the CIA leak investigation. The leak ended the career of CIA operative Valerie Plame Wilson. Her husband, former U.S. Ambassador Joe Wilson, joins us now from Santa Fe, New Mexico. Joe, what's your reaction to the president's decision yesterday?
Well, I'm not surprised. I think this administration has demonstrated time and time again it is corrupt from the top to the bottom. I think the president has short-circuited the rule of law and the system of justice that has undergirded this country in the entire history of the republic.
But you say that the White House is corrupt and that this proves it again. Although the president is well within his purview to do this, and he didn't pardon Libby, he commuted the sentence, simply saying that the sentence was excessive. He left in place, though, the conviction and the fine.
Yeah, the special prosecutor commented last night on this assertion that it was excessive by pointing out it fell right within the guidelines of federal sentencing. The president, by commuting Mr. Libby's sentence, is guaranteed that he will be under no incentive whatsoever ever to tell the truth to the special prosecutor, who has said repeatedly that there remains a cloud over the office of the vice president. This cloud now extends over the office of the president. I think there is a very real suspicion now that the president himself is an accessory to obstruction of justice in this matter.
Joe, the White House insisted yesterday that the president made this decision on his own with no outside consultation. Do you believe that, or do you see the fine hand of Dick Cheney in here somewhere?
Well, I see the fine hand of Dick Cheney everywhere. I admit my bias on that, but of course I read the Washington Post's four-part series last week, and I've seen the hand of the vice president in the betrayal of the covert identity of a CIA officer, as have the rest of the world now. But I don't know. The president may have made this decision on his own. It was a bad decision. It undermines the rule of law and the system of justice in this country.
Right. Now, the point that Libby's supporters are making is that there was no underlying crime that was found here, that Patrick Fitzgerald did not prosecute anybody for the actual leak, only for things that were said in the investigation of the leak. So based upon
John,
that, yeah, go ahead.
I would just go back to what the special prosecutor has said from the very time of the indictment, something that you all forget to put up there every time you report this. He has said from the very beginning that the reason he was not able to get to an underlying crime was because Mr. Libby repeatedly lied and threw sand in the umpire's eyes. That is why. Now, Libby's whiners can say anything they want, but the facts as they were brought out in the court were the covert identity of a CIA officer was betrayed by Mr. Libby, Mr. Rove, Mr. Armitage, quite possibly at the direction of the vice president. Americans know the difference between right and wrong. Americans know when the national security of this country has been betrayed, even if the president of the United States and the vice president and Mr. Libby's supporters do not.
Now, I do know, Joe, that, of course, Fitzgerald said he doesn't know if there was a crime committed because of the obstruction of justice, but the fact that he knew that Armitage was the person who leaked it, and he knew that before Scooter Libby allegedly committed his perjury, wouldn't that indicate that that investigation was a dead end? Couldn't he have prosecuted Richard Armitage for leaking the name of your wife?
I have no idea why the special prosecutor didn't prosecute Armitage or Rove. You would have to ask him that. But I do know that Mr. Armitage's role in this was known to the Justice Department several months before the special prosecutor was ever named. Career prosecutors, and indeed Mr. Fitzgerald himself, felt that there was more to investigate as a consequence of the bogus testimony provided by Mr. Libby, who has now been convicted by a jury of his peers for that bogus testimony.
Joe, you and your wife still have that civil suit pending. What are you looking for from Scooter Libby?
Well, we've got three objectives in the civil suit. We want to get the truth out. We want to hold these government officials to account for their abuse of power, and we want to use the suit as a deterrent to future generations of civil servants from engaging in this sort of political abuse of power.
All right. Former Ambassador Joe Wilson, now living in Santa Fe. Joe, thanks very much. Good 4th of July to you.
Yeah, you too.